Shalom Israel first. I want to all praise, glory, honor to Yahweh, by Shema outside, by Shema Kakadash. Don't want to see you, Apostle. That was great millstone. Peace, citation, 1/3 of Israel. And for this lesson, I want to title it The Real Grind. All right. And just going into how, we should be, this truth is a real grind. All right. But let me read Surah 38 and 24. It says, the wisdom that we learn, man, cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that had little business shall become wise. How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow, and that glorieth in the gold, that driveth oxen, and is occupied in their labors, and whose talk is of bullocks? All right. So, how can you, as it says, become wise? How, if you occupied in these things, all right. That's why the truth comes first. The truth always comes first. All right. Everything else follows. But let me read down, or let me skip, because it's kind of a lot to read. I'm gonna skip down to 31st verse. It says, "All these trust to their hands, and everyone is wise in his work. Without these cannot a city be inhabited, and they shall not dwell where they will, nor go up and down. They shall not be sought for in public council, nor sit high in the congregation. They shall not sit on the judge's seat, nor understand the sentence of judgment. They cannot declare justice and judgment, and they shall not be found where parables are spoken." So you got to understand, what we're grinding for is to be judges, to be kings, rulers, all right? So how are we going to be able to execute judgment if we're not, occupied in this truth, all right? If we're not occupied in learning how to judge, how to be a righteous judge, all right? Because ultimately, we going to be 100% righteous, but, we still got to work for it, all right? But let me get this in the GNT. It says, I'll read the top two, and then we'll get some other scriptures. All right, it says, scholars must have time to study if they're going to be wise. They must be relieved of other responsibilities. How can a farmhand gain knowledge when his only ambition is to drive the oxen and make them work, when all he knows to talk about is livestock? He takes great pains to plow a straight furrow and will work far into the night to feed the animals. It is the same with the artists and the craftsmen who work night and day engraving precious stones, carefully working out new designs. They take great pains to produce a lifelike image and will work far into the night to finish the work. It is the same with the blacksmith and his anvil, planning what he will make from a piece of iron. The heat from the fire sears his skin as he sweats away. At the forge, the clang of the hammer deafens him as he carefully watches the object he is working take shape. He takes great pains to complete his task and will work far into the night to bring it to perfection. It says, it is the same with the potter, sitting at his wheel, turning it with his feet, always concentrating on his work, concerned with how many objects he can produce. He works the clay with his feet until he can shape it with his hands. Then he takes great pains to glaze it properly and will work far into the night to clean out the kiln. It says all these people are skilled with their hands, each of them an expert at his own craft. Without such people, there could be no cities. No one would live or visit where these services were not available. So, these occupations are important, all right? But what's more important, being a judge, being a God, because that's you can't have a city without no laws, all right? That's everywhere. Each place has, a government, a system of laws, and you always got someone, judging, all right? Because there's always matters that, take place every day. So, how is justice and judgment gonna go out in the kingdom if we can't? Hold on, there's a scripture. It just popped in my head. It says 1 Corinthians 6 and 2. It says, "Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world, and the world shall be judged by you? Are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life?" All right. So if we're only dealing with small things now, imagine in the kingdom. We're gonna be dealing with major. We're gonna be moving. Right? We're gonna be moving shit. All right, we're gonna have the power to, say, this, that, and third. All right, we're gonna have the power to execute judgment. All right, but right now, it's like, we're rehearsing. All right, let's get that. Said, Book of Judges 5. It says, Judges 5:11. It says, they that are delivered from the noise of archers and the place of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. All right, so right now, we just rehearsing the righteous acts. All right, we're rehearsing how to be judges. All right, so certain matters that come across, hey, we got to resort back to the scriptures to execute judgment ultimately. But let me read. It says, these people are not. 32nd verse. It says, without such people, there could be no cities. No one would live or visit where these services were not available. These people are not sought out to serve on the public councils, and they never attain positions of great importance. And this is what we're striving for. This is what we're grinding for. Positions of great importance. They do not serve as judges. They do not understand legal matters. They have no education and are not known for their wisdom. You never hear them quoting Proverbs, but the work they do holds this world together. When they do their work, it is the same as offering prayer. All right. So, it's important, but hey, it's not as important as being a judge. All right. Let's go to, I believe it's Sirach. It's like 40. Gotta be like 42. There you go. Alright, Sirach 44. Let's read NLT. Let's see which one's better. Alright, Sirach 44:1. It says, so let us now give praise to godly men, our ancestors of generations past, those whom the Lord honored with great glory, and in whom his greatness has been seen from the beginning of time. There were some who ruled kingdoms, and some who were known for their strength. Some were wise advisors, some spoke prophecies. There were statesmen whose policies governed the people, rulers who issued decrees, scholars who spoke wise words, and those who used pointed proverbs. And notice how, it had nothing to do with, how well these men were good at their occupations. That didn't matter. All right, poets, composers of music, rich and powerful men living peacefully at home. Hold up, let me get this. Let's see, Salakia. I'm thinking about something else. All right, I'm going to reread it. Sirach 44:1. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. The Lord had wrought great glory by them through his great power from, I believe it's going to say from the beginning. But, Salaki, if I'm wrong, I cut my verse off. It says, such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies. Leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning. Meet for the people, wise and eloquent are their instructions, such as found out musical tunes and recited verses in writing. Rich men furnished with ability, living peaceably in their habitations. All these were honored in their generations and were the glory of their times. Says there be of them that have left their name behind them, that their praises might be reported. And some there be which have no memorial, who are perished, as though they had never been, and are become as though they had never been born, and their children after them. But these were merciful men whose righteousness had not been forgotten. With their seed shall continually remain a good inheritance, and their children are within the covenant. All right, and this is, let me keep reading. It says, their seed standeth fast, and their children for their sakes. Their seed shall remain forever, and their glory shall not be blotted out. Their bodies are buried in peace, but their name liveth forevermore. And guess what? That's a legacy right there. All right. The people will tell of their wisdom, and the congregation will show forth their praise. Let me skip down. Okay. But, really what I want to get out of this is, the men of the Lord, these men weren't honored because of their what they did for carnally. Like, for example, Amos, he was a prophet, and he was a gatherer of sycamore fruit. He wasn't. Amos, he picked up this much sycamore fruit, or Elisha, he was so good at plowing oxen. Like, no, this is, what they were honored for was their righteousness, underneath Yahweh Shemi outside, following the Lord, so, and likewise, that's what we strive for. We strive for that legacy. This is the real grind. All right. Let's get it. Cause there's a reward. Right? There's a memorial, or not. Well, there's a reward. All right. What's the word for it? I'm just gonna keep it a reward. But Daniel 12:3 says, "And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever." All right, and let's look up that word stars. All right, that's the reward. Shine. We let me just get it. Slocky. My stuttering and shit.
Strong's H3556. Kochav.
Okay, it says of Messiah, brothers, youth, numerous progeny. All right. A Messiah, brothers. So ultimately, what does Scripture say? Romans 8:17, it says, "And if children, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Yahushua, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. All right, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High." All right, but the point one was that 17 verse. We are joint heirs with Yahushua. All right, but we have to walk that walk. All right, because all Israel, as it said, we all Israel is going to be saved, but we want to be part of that the first fruits. All right, we want to be. We want to be part of the elect, all right? It's in Philippians. Just bear with me. I got spoiled with typing it in. So it gotta be one, I believe. I'm thinking about something else. Okay, never mind. It's lucky. I was thinking about a different precept. 2 Peter 1:10, it says, "Wherefore the brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure, for if you do these things, you shall never fall." So, how's that? Well, guess what? We're on a mission, as Yahushua said, "If you love me, feed my sheep." So that's what we're doing, all right? And, it's, we encounter matters it's not just, I don't want to say it's not just teaching, but it isn't, we go through suffering, We got to learn how to move. We got to learn how to operate, and so on and so forth. When we purge that old man daily. All right. So it's a process. All right. This is the real grind. All right. Because what we're striving for is something far out of this world. All right. That this world can't perceive. All right. So if we giving our time to the affairs of this world and shit, you're not gonna reap that reward. All right. What's that scripture? Damn, I'm trying to remember that scripture. Basically, I forgot how it's worded, but it's basically like what you put in is what you're gonna get out of it. All right. So if you're not putting in forth the effort, then you're not gonna receive forth the prize. All right. But ultimately, and hopefully, it was well said. Like I said, I'm not no eloquent brother, but hopefully, the message was clear. But just going into how this is the real grind, right? Because you got people that grind in worldly matters, as we read in Sirach 38, and that yeah, it's these are important occupations, but what we have is the most important occupation. All right, ruler. Right here. This is what we want to hear. Matthew 25 and 21. It says, "His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord." All right, and that's what we want to hear from Yahushua. All right, and this is talking about the talents. All right, the Lord's money. We don't want to be that napkin nigga that just heard this truth and didn't do anything with it. All right. So, like I said, hopefully this was well said. I want to give all praise, glory, honor to Yahweh, by Shemi outside, by Shemi Kakodash. Till next time. So.